10 extinct animals that couldn't survive today. In today's world, it's a fight for survival, no matter the species. From the lazy sloth to the sneaky tiger, every single animal is out in the wild battling for resources. However, some are better at this than others. Today, we'll be talking about 10 extinct animal species that couldn't possibly survive in today's world, in no specific order. Number 10. Steller's sea cow. First up is the Steller's sea cow, also known as the northern sea cow. This was a large marine mammal that inhabited the Bering Sea and North Pacific Ocean. It was first described by naturalist Georg Wilhelm Steller in 1741 during the Great Northern Expedition led by Vitus Bering. Steller's sea cows were enormous creatures reaching lengths of up to 30 feet, 9 meters, and weighing around 10 tons. Now, if we are talking about why they wouldn't survive today, the Steller's sea cow would face significant challenges with its slow movement and sluggish swimming ability. Their slow movement would hinder their ability to evade modern-day dangers, such as collisions with fast-moving vessels. Number 9. BAIJI white dolphin. Next, the BAIJI white dolphin, also known as the Yangtze River dolphin or the Chinese river dolphin, is a species of freshwater dolphin that was once native to the Yangtze River in China. Sadly, the BAIJI is now considered functionally extinct, meaning that no known individuals remain in the wild. So why wouldn't they survive today? Well, overfishing in the Yangtze River would severely impact the BAIJI's survival. The depletion of fish populations, including their primary prey such as carp and catfish, reduced the dolphins' food availability. As their food source declines, the BAIJI will face increased competition for limited resources and struggle to find enough nourishment to sustain their population. Also, the Yangtze River is highly polluted due to industrialization, shipping, and agricultural activities along its banks. Number 8. Giant sloth. The giant sloth, also known as the ground sloth, was a group of large herbivorous mammals that lived during the Ice Age. These sloths were seriously massive in size, with some species reaching up to 20 feet, 6 meters in length, and weighing several tons. Pretty crazy, right? However, while they were well adapted to the environment of their time, they probably couldn't cut it in the world of today. Let's talk about it. The giant sloths thrived in the Ice Age when the climate was colder and their habitats consisted of extensive grasslands and forests. However, as the Earth's climate shifted and warmed, these environments changed drastically. The expansion of forests and the decline of grasslands will reduce the availability of suitable habitats for the giant sloths. And since they were specialized for grazing on grasses and other low-lying vegetation, the loss of these ecosystems would severely limit their food sources and habitats. Number 7. White-footed rabbit rat. Have you ever heard of the white-footed rabbit rat? It's an extinct critter with the quirkiest name. This weird little creature was actually related to rats, mice, and squirrels. It kind of looked like a squirrel, but sported a bushy tail that had 2 different colors. Its body was covered in a dark brown coat, but its belly and feet were all white. So, why wouldn't these cute creatures be able to cut it in today's world? Well, the introduction of predators played a role in their downfall. As humans brought in non-native predators like cats and foxes, the white-footed rabbit rats had to face new threats they weren't adapted to handle. These predators saw these cute little critters as potential snacks, and sadly, the rabbit rats couldn't defend themselves effectively. That was true then, and it will be true now. They just don't have a place in nature anymore. Number 6. JOSEPHOARTIGASIA MONESI. Next up is the JOSEPHOARTIGASIA MONESI. Try saying that 10 times really fast. These giant rodents were truly extraordinary. For some frame of reference, imagine a rat the size of a horse. Its front teeth were 10 inches long, and experts think they used them to dig for roots like elephant tusks. It's also possible they defended themselves against saber-toothed tigers and terror birds using those teeth. So, why wouldn't they be able to survive today? Well, they had specific dietary requirements and relied on large areas of grasslands for foraging. As their habitats have changed and human activities have altered the landscape, the giant rodents would find it challenging to adapt to new food sources and environments. Their inability to adjust to changing conditions limits their ability to survive in the face of habitat degradation. Number 5. The Pinta giant tortoise. The Pinta giant tortoise, also known as the Pinta island tortoise, was a subspecies of Galapagos tortoise that was native to Pinta Island in the Galapagos archipelago. The Pinta tortoise was characterized by its dome-shaped shell and its ability to store water and survive in arid environments. It had a relatively small population size, with only a few individuals known to have existed in the wild. The Pinta giant tortoise had a drastically reduced population, with only a few known individuals remaining. This low population size can make them highly vulnerable to genetic issues such as inbreeding depression. With limited genetic diversity, their ability to adapt to changing environments and resist diseases becomes severely compromised. Number 4. Western black rhino. The western black rhino, or Diceros bicornus longipes, was a subspecies of black rhinoceros that once inhabited the western regions of Africa, including countries as Cameroon, Nigeria, and Chad. It was one of the several recognized subspecies of black rhinos. So, why wouldn't it be able to survive today? Well, illegal poaching was one of the major drivers behind the extinction of the western black rhino. The rhino's horn, highly valued in traditional medicine and as a status symbol, fetched exorbitant prices on the black market. Despite conservation efforts, relentless poaching for its horn decimated the population, leading to their eventual extinction. And this would be true today. Poachers would never let these animals roam the wild in peace. The extinction of their population is an event that would occur no matter what. Number 3. Civethere. The civethere, also known as Civetherium, was an extinct genus of large herbivorous mammals that lived during the late Miocene to the Pleistocene epochs. They were native to parts of Africa, Asia, and Europe. What's cool is the civethere resembled a mix of giraffes and deer, with a long neck and tail, branching antlers. Well, the civethere is extinct now, and there's no possible way they'd be able to survive in today's world. And here's why. As herbivores, the civethere relied on vegetation for sustenance. However, changes in ecosystems, including the introduction of new herbivorous species, could intensify competition for limited food resources. If the civethere faced strong competition from other large herbivores, or if their preferred food sources became scarce, their survival prospects would have been negatively affected. And as large herbivores, they may be targeted by humans for their meat, hides, or other resources. Number 2. Cuban giant owl. The Cuban giant owl was a fascinating species found exclusively in Cuba. What's interesting is, unlike most owls, it spent a significant portion of its life on the ground, due to its substantial size. However, it retained the ability to fly in short bursts, similar to a turkey. With acute hearing and sharp eyesight, like other owls, it excelled at hunting prey in low-light conditions. Some theories suggest that the Cuban giant owl was an adept runner, capable of chasing down its prey before capturing it. Unfortunately, though, the Cuban giant owl couldn't possibly withstand the pressures of the modern world. This is mainly because of it being a large terrestrial bird, making it an easy target for hunters. Furthermore, the introduction of non-native animals such as rats by humans would have posed a threat to their nests and offspring. Number 1. HAAST'S eagle. The HAAST'S eagle, named after Sir Julius von Haast, a 19th century geologist and explorer, was a massive bird of prey that once inhabited New Zealand. It held the title of being the largest eagle that ever existed. Regardless, it wouldn't be able to survive today, and here's why. The HAAST'S eagle had a slow reproductive rate, reaching sexual maturity late and producing few offspring. In today's world, where environmental changes occur rapidly and threats to species are numerous, a slow reproductive rate would hinder the eagle's ability to recover and maintain a stable population. And that was our list. If you have any comments or questions, feel free to leave them down below. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications to stay up to date on videos like this. See you next time!